Well, you're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, millions of new voters visited the polls this past Tuesday. We'll hear from a few of them on their thoughts on their first election.
Also, a big Tuesday night in Carthage as the city has recalled a city councilwoman.
And we've got some patchy fog out there. Cloudy skies to start. Not a bad fall day later. We'll go over that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Thursday, November the 7th, 2024. We are now closing in, not just on the holidays, which, I mean, granted, Christmas started like, what, almost a month ago, it seems, at some stores, but on 2025, the future.
I can't believe it. It's flown by.
It really has. This year's just, I couldn't snap. That's how fast this year has been. I couldn't even snap.
Absolutely. Well, regardless of where they stand on the political spectrum, this election season is giving millions of new voters a chance to cast their first ballot for president.
Many say their involvement throughout the election cycle has bolstered their energy. Fox News' Ted Lindner shares some of their stories.
The finish line is almost in sight. And as the race for the White House enters its final stretch,
the only thing I want is get out and vote. Just get out, finish it.
Each candidate is using all their remaining time to convince Americans they're worthy of their vote.
Are we ready to do this? We're ready to get out the vote.
This presidential election will mark the first time millions of newly registered voters will be able to cast a ballot. Many are expressing excitement over participating in a democratic process that allows their voices to be heard.
This is my first rally ever. I am a first-time voter, so it was really, really nice. Some tears were shed. I'm really excited to vote.
21-year-old Alondra Cortez went to Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Allentown, Pennsylvania on Monday. She said the experience was inspirational.
This rally, she just said a lot of things that you really have to take into account as a college student, as a first generation, as a Puerto Rican.
Meanwhile, in Alamo, Texas, another first-time voter story highlights the passion driving people to the polls.
Well, one thing is very important. This country is one of immigrants.
After living in the U.S. for roughly 40 years, 78-year-old Carlos Salas said he was fueled to finally, quote, wake up his civic duties.
This beautiful country has opened doors for me.
Salas, originally from Mexico, recently became a U.S. citizen, so he could vote on the matters important to him and his community.
Now, I've exercised my vote. I've exercised my right. If what I voted for happens, that's good. And if it doesn't happen, there's no reason to get angry.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Well, it's certainly important to make sure that regardless of whether you're a first-time voter or a 20th time voter, or 40th time voter, you get out there and exercise that right. So it's certainly a great election cycle. Though, I don't know about you, I'm glad it's over. I'm done with all the ads. It's those political ads, man. Some of them, boy, they wear you out.
Absolutely.
And you know what else wears you out? Lots of fog and having to drive slow. And we have some of that out there. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, a live look from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, located at about 4th and Broadway there, looking back to the south and east. Now, it's looking good in Pittsburgh. However, we are starting to get some denser fog around the Pittsburgh area that's starting to show up on the fog tracker, which we'll show you in a moment. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin, also looking fairly good as well, although we are cloudy. So here's what I'm talking about. We're down to about 1.5 miles of reported visibility in Pittsburgh. Now, as you saw from our downtown camera, didn't look that bad in downtown, but that's just kind of that idea of how quickly conditions can change. So the fog is really thickened up around the Cherokee, Crawford, and Barton County areas. You can see we're getting some patchier fog now around Monette, Mount Vernon, Cassville, Stockton, Nevada. So just again, slow down, use your low beams, not your high beams, and watch out anywhere really for those potentials for maybe some periodic dense fog out there. Future track into this afternoon, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We'll have a northeast wind gusting at around 20 to 25 miles an hour. Temperatures seasonably cool, some of us maybe even a little below normal, and clouds will start to increase later this evening. We're sitting at 45 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh, and around the area it's been this way all morning. Cooler to the north, warmer to the south, so low, mid, upper 40s, and still sitting at 50 in Bentonville. We're looking at highs, most of us about 61, some of us maybe a degree or two warmer, some of us may not make it out of the upper 50s, but relatively close to normal. Partly cloudy skies into the evening before they thicken up ahead of our rain chances tomorrow, and we'll go over those rain chances with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Planned Parenthood says it plans to sue the state of Missouri for full abortion access. Missouri voters passed Amendment 3 Tuesday night, which provides a state constitutional right to reproductive freedom. However, there are still legal limits to abortions in the state. Now, Planned Parenthood's lawsuit claims the restrictions around abortion that still exist, including requirements put upon healthcare providers of abortion, are unconstitutional. Healthcare providers are seeking to block a number of state laws that are now in conflict with the Missouri Constitution. Amendment 3 goes into effect in early December. If you need to get a new driver's license in Missouri, you'll have to wait until next week. The Missouri Department of Revenue is rolling out a new driver's license system across the state. Now, they're installing new equipment, and it'll eventually allow you to renew your license online. But to get those systems in place, they have to pause driver license services. Now, some license offices will be open today for motor vehicle services only, but expect all offices to be closed on Friday and Monday for Veterans Day. They expect the new system to be up and running by Tuesday. Well, the Carthage City Council now has another vacancy to fill in the wake of Tuesday's public vote to recall Councilmember Tiffany Kosey. The vote came after a petition to remove her gained enough votes this past summer, which led to the question being added to the November 5th ballot. KOAN's Melissa Alexis spoke to some community members for their reaction.
Anytime you're elected to any position, I think conduct's very important.
Tiffany Kosey will no longer be a member of the Carthage City Council as of November 5th. Dolores Glendening is a resident who says she hopes Kosey's removal brings peace to the Carthage community.
Let's always hope they do what the citizens want, and yes, I do want peace.
Things should be done, at the pleasure of the voter and the people,
Jerry Neal, another community member, believes this will resolve some of the tension in the Carthage City Council and lead to a less tumultuous dynamic.
Turmoil is never good. It's, try to get along with everyone as much as possible. It's not easy to do, but, I just hope that that will all reach fruition and everybody will be back and enjoying each other again.
Kosey was recalled with 730 people voting yes to the recall and only 457 people voting no. A crowd at the courthouse cheered Tuesday night as Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis announced Kosey will be recalled, with 61.4% of voters in support of the decision. Glendening is optimistic the person who replaces Councilmember Kosey will be less controversial, and she believes more can be accomplished through a more harmonious city council.
That's what we need to do, is pick somebody that knows about the community and that's lived here a while and knows what's going on better than I do, but so that we can all get along, because you can accomplish a lot more.
Reporting in Carthage, Melissa Alexis, KOAN News.
The Carthage City Council members say they will move forward to fill her position along with the other vacant seats in the City Council. Now, we've reached out to Kosey for comment, but have not yet received a response. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, the Share the Harvest Color Fun Run is all ready to go this weekend. We'll hear about how going for a run can help bring food to area families. Well, if you are looking for a great family outing this weekend, then you should consider the Share the Harvest Color Fun Run and Raffle. Now, Misty White and Robin Manival are with us this morning to share more. Good morning to you both. Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So talk to me a little bit about this fun run and raffle and what it all entails.
Go ahead, Miss.
So we decided to try something new this year for a fundraiser, and we are trying to raise funds for our food pantry. And so we decided to go with a color fun run. It's a 2K. We're going to be out there running 2 laps around the Kellogg Lake, and then afterwards we're going to head back to our location at 210 North River for an after party and raffle drawing. And we've gotten so many donations to that automotive raffle basket that we have a lot to offer. It's over $800 in value, probably closer to $900 now.
That's
and so tickets are still available even up to the day of the drawing. People that come to the event or can just show up at our building shortly after 9 to get some tickets for that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And how much is it to partake in the fun run and also the raffle?
So I believe that the fun run is now $35 and at $45. I may be off on those numbers. I remember early registration was $30 and $40, so I think that's correct. Also, we had the option of doing a runathon, so people could sign up for that. Registration is now closed online, but you can still register on day in the at the Kellogg Lake.
Also fantastic, wonderful. And so this is happening November 9th. Talk to me about the time that festivities start and what all people need to know when they come out to the event.
Okay, so it starts at 9 o'clock. I guess it's rain or shine.
Okay.
So unless we have thunder or lightning, you know, we would still run.
Sure.
So yeah, we're excited about it. This is our first go at this. So
yes,
you know, we're kind of learning as we go along, but truly excited about it.
Absolutely exciting. And you also have some sponsors too
Yes.
that are helping you create this event and
Yes.
to put it on.
Yeah, so for our bronze sponsors, I just wanted to give a shout out to those who've helped fund the essentials for the race.
Yes.
That is Guarantee Bank of Carthage, Cherry's Custom Framing and Art Gallery, S&H Farm Supply of Lockwood, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Lauren DeButte, Hatcher's Coffee House, Maple Leaf Coffee House, and Circle Lee Country Market. They've all been our bronze sponsors and have really went to bat to help us put this race on. Our automotive sponsors, we couldn't have put together a better basket, and I'm just very thankful to each one of those sponsors. We have Jackson Tire, Hunter Tire, Lambeth Auto, Reeves Tire and Auto, Woody's Glass, Innovative Industries coming in with the auto detail, Go Car Wash, Fast Monkey Auto, O'Reilly's Auto Part, and Schrader's Towing. And we've got a great gas card and jump start from Schrader's.
Fantastic.
And so we're really thrilled about that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. If you'd like to learn more about the event, you can visit the website located at the bottom of your screen. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:18 on this Thursday morning. We're starting with the fog tracker. We still got dense fog in parts of southeastern Crawford County, stretching into Cherokee and Barton counties as well. We've got some patchy fog around the Barry Lawrence County areas, eastern Jasper, Newton County, down into McDonald County, Benton County, and then up around the Veda, Stockton as well. So again, use your low beams, not your high beams. Drive slow. Give yourself time to get where you are going. Once the fog burns off, we've got a pretty decent day out there. We are going to have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We've got gusty northeast winds that we've got to contend with, though. Those will be pushing 20 to 25 miles an hour. Outside of that, today not too bad otherwise. We're going to have some cool temperatures, but a pretty typical November day. Clouds increase late this evening and overnight into early tomorrow morning. We could get a couple of scattered showers or storms, say Fredonia, Chanute, Yates Center, Burlington, Sedan, maybe Howard, Howard as well. So this will be confined to our northwestern counties initially, with maybe a sprinkle or two outside of that. But then by mid to late morning tomorrow, we're going to start to see more showers and thunderstorms out there starting to work in. Now, again, the rain itself is moving from south to north, but the boundary it's associated with is gradually going to be pushed eastward. So initially, some heavier rain across parts of southeast Kansas. This is something to keep in mind. Parts of SEK over the weekend and through Monday didn't get as much rain as your neighbors to the southeast, but still, you want to watch out for that potential for flash flooding, especially as the heavy rain starts to push eastward. Some locations between that 3-day period got nearly a foot of rainfall, so ground's still saturated. The good news is no severe weather. These colors here are just showing us thunderstorms and heavier rainfall. By 3 o'clock, it's now from Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Anderson, Bentonville, getting ready to roll into Lamar and Nevada, and just outside of Monette, Cassville. All this will continue to lift off to the northeast. Then we'll have some moderate rain, maybe some rumbles of thunder back behind that by Friday evening. And then we'll get some gaps here and there before we see additional shower and thunderstorm development by late Friday night into early Saturday. And these will be scattered overnight, but nonetheless, some more rain, more showers, more storms out there for us. And then by about noon Saturday, it's out of here. It's done, and we've got a gorgeous Saturday ahead of us. Quick look at temperatures. You can see off in the distance some fog there on the horizon from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. 45 in Joplin, northeast winds at 9 and making it feel like 40. We've got low, mid, and upper 40s across the region, so relatively seasonable. Save Bentonville still sitting at 50 this morning. As we go through the morning, mid 40s to start, patchy fog through about 9 o'clock, and we'll go mid 50s by 11 a.m. Our highs today about 61. Some of you a little warmer, some of you a little cooler, some of you maybe only into the upper 50s. Mid 60s tomorrow and Saturday, as well as Sunday. Sunday looks great. So does the second half of our Saturday, by the way. And we're looking pretty good for Monday as well. Temperatures start going a little above normal, though, next week, ahead of another cold front on Wednesday. Now, at this point, there's nothing screaming severe for Wednesday, but we'll keep a close eye on it. But one way or the other, we get thunderstorms and we get considerably cooler temperatures for Thursday, mid to upper 50s out there. And then we'll go back above normal by next Saturday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, the third annual Pittsburgh Turkey Trot 5K is a great way to start your Thanksgiving holiday. Renato Pinto from the Running Collective is with us this morning to share how this run will benefit Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast Kansas. Good morning and welcome to you. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Well, it's hard to believe Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and with that comes the Turkey Trot. So talk to me about this year's event.
So the Turkey Trot takes place 8 o'clock in the morning, Thanksgiving. It's an event that we do every year. We've done it 2 years in the past now. And we're just trying to grow the event, and that way we can raise money for different charities in the area, this year being Big Brothers Big Sisters. And yeah, we're just excited to kick it off in November. So
absolutely. And the goal for this year is $12,000 to give to Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast Kansas. Last year you partnered with Special Olympics Kansas and you raised $10,000. So talk to me about not only getting out and exercising on Thanksgiving, but also raising money for communities in the area and what that means to you.
It means a lot. I'm pretty involved in the Pittsburgh area, so getting to know these people that run these nonprofits like that, like whether it be Monica or Aaron Fletcher or whoever is out there, and then just being able to tell them like, hey, we raised X amount of money for you guys, and knowing what the money is going to go towards is great. And then being able to also have a fun community event that people are doing, not even realizing like, hey, this is going to a great cause.
Absolutely. How have you seen this event grow over the past 3 years?
It's been crazy. First year we did it 3 years ago, we had 100 people.
Wow.
And then last year we had over 400. And at this point, right now, we're already over 400. So I know come race time on Thanksgiving morning, we'll probably be over 600 participants.
That's incredible. Wow. And so people want to take part in this race, to come out and support. How much does it cost to race in this event?
So right now it's $35 plus your service fees and taxes, but that covers your participation shirt, which we'll run out of. So make sure you sign up as soon as you can, and you get to registration as soon as you can. But you get your shirt, you get your chip time bib, you get your awesome medal, and then we're going to have professional photography, a DJ, and then we'll have food at Toast right afterwards. But that'll cover that, and it's $35.
Fantastic. And if people want to find more information either about this event, to sign up, where can they do so?
They can find it at runningcollectiveks.com. Just go to our website. There's some links there that say Pittsburgh Turkey Trot or sign up here, and that'll take you to our registration page where you can sign up.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, the Sooner State claims historic voter turnout this year. In a statement from the Oklahoma Secretary of State Election Board, the unofficial numbers show more Oklahomans cast their vote for a president than in any previous election. In-person early voting in the state set a new record with more than 120,000. The state also claimed the largest number of registered voters in the state heading into this election since tracking began in 2000. Well, the city of Pittsburgh will hold its annual State of the City address this coming Tuesday at Memorial Auditorium. Members of this Pittsburgh City Commission will be there. The public is invited to attend this free event, although a limited number of tickets are available through Memorial Auditorium. Well, some communities in our area received an unexpected side effect of all the rain the last few days, which is sinkholes. 2 have formed since Sunday, one in Duquesne and the other in Joplin. Now, the Duquesne sinkhole appeared on the western edge of the city. The Joplin sinkhole appeared at a residence near Parr Hill. That one measured 10 to 15 feet across and about 6 feet deep. Authorities say neither sinkhole poses a threat to any structures. Well over 100 museum professionals from around Kansas are in Fort Scott for a 3-day gathering. The Gordon Parks Museum is hosting the 2024 Kansas Museums Association Conference, but activities are spilling over to other Fort Scott venues, including the Fort Scott National Historic Site, the Lowell Milken Center, and the Ellis Fine Arts Center. Now, conference attendees are touring various attractions and attending workshops on a wide range of topics and the latest trends in museums and preservation. Now, that includes efforts to preserve Native American history.
Information for museums on how they can better work with the indigenous communities in Kansas. I think one of the things a lot of people think about with the Native Americans that happened long ago. Those people are still here with us in our communities, and we just need to find a way to make their stories told throughout the museum community.
The conference wraps up tomorrow. Last night, donors and friends gathered at the Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium as the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas celebrated its grant recipients for the past year. Now, the grants fund projects in a wide range of charitable causes like children and youth activities, housing assistance, women's health, and many others.
We give grants for anything from childcare to tennis shoes to playground equipment, anything in between. There's so many needs of our Southeast Kansas group of people, and we have the money and we love being able to give it out.
Well, you can learn more about grants available online on the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas website. Dozens of businesses and colleges showed up at McDonald County High School for a career fair. The event offered students career insights into such fields as retail and manufacturing, healthcare and government, and others. Now, the goal was to give students an opportunity to network with local business leaders and to provide a look at some possible future career opportunities.
The main goal is just sprinkling those seeds of what are you going to do in the future. Whether they're a sophomore in high school or a senior in high school, the main thing is that they can see what's out there, and if they're interested in something, what route do they need to take to get there.
Students were able to use a fun bingo style card to collect career information, making the event both educational and interactive. Now here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got some patchy fog out there to contend with. Quick look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Get up in the horizon here. You can see some of that fog out there. Now, Pittsburgh officially reporting about 1.5 mile visibility, and we'll show you that in just a moment. And we also have some fog trying to build in on the eastern sides of Joplin. Doesn't look too bad, though, from MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. However, here's our fog tracker. We're seeing more of that fog building around Mount Vernon, Monette, Cassville, the eastern portions of Jasper, Newton, and McDonald counties out there. So do slow down because this includes I-44 and US 60 and 69 through Pittsburgh. We've got parts of Cherokee, Crawford, and Barton counties. Also some reduced visibilities out there as well. So remember, slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Give yourself time to get where you're going. Future track into this afternoon, we'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, a gusty northeast wind at about 20 miles an hour, occasionally maybe even gusting up to 25. Otherwise, a not bad day before clouds begin to increase as we head into the late evening and overnight hours. Sitting at 45 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh, and around the region, temperatures haven't moved too much. We've still got low, mid, and upper 40s, and Bentonville still sitting at 50 degrees. Highs today about 61 for most of us. Some of us, though, upper 50s. Some of us maybe a couple of degrees warmer than that, but all in all, pretty seasonable. Those partly cloudy skies through the evening, and again, late evening clouds begin to increase ahead of our increasing rain chances into Friday. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A company is pushing the limits of AI with a new app that will tell you what you want to know just by looking at someone. In Consumer Watch this morning, another Federal Reserve rate cut could be coming later today. Reports say the Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates down another 1/4%. That cut would mean the rate the reserve lends other bank money would drop to around 4.5% to 4.75%. Financial experts say the initial benefits will be small for a while, but that more cuts are needed. Well, gloom and doom is showing up in American shopping habits thanks to high anxiety. A Credit Karma report says 27% of shoppers are now doom spending in order to cope with deep stresses over the elections and global crisis. The report found 70% of Gen Zers say they are always online, and 53% of them say receiving bad news drives them to spend. The report adds 1/3 of Americans say it's no longer rational to save money because of world uncertainty. Well, the holidays are right around the corner, and experts predict spending to be at an all-time high. Now is the time to start thinking about budgeting. Jen Sullivan looks at shopping trends and how to avoid the holidays from hurting your finances.
It's the season of giving, but if you're not careful with finances, you could be getting a hefty bill at the end of the holiday season. Experts say shopping as early as now can help you budget.
We have seen a trend over the last couple of years of consumers starting their shopping a little earlier for the winter holidays.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says holiday spending this year is expected to hit an all-time high, with shoppers spending an average of $902 per person, about $641 going towards gifts, and the rest towards food, cards, and decor. There is some good news for shoppers this year.
We do know that in many ways, inflation has gotten better than it was last year, particularly when it comes to goods, which is great news for consumers.
A recent survey by NerdWallet found 28% of shoppers who used credit cards to buy gifts last year are still paying off that debt. So, how can you make sure you don't overspend?
The best thing to do is to really make a plan before you start spending. Ideally, we want to use our savings and not debt to fund those purchases.
NerdWallet personal finance expert Kimberly Palmer also recommends these tips. Make a list and figure out exactly how much you want to spend. Start shopping early. Talk to family and friends about expectations and possibly scaling back. And sign up for price drop alerts.
Using some kind of browser add-on like Honey or the Camelizer browser extension just to track those prices can just help make sure that you're getting the best deal possible.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 on this Thursday morning. Starting again with the fog tracker this morning. We've got reduced visibilities, parts of Cherokee, Crawford, Barton counties, and now a broader area of reduced visibilities across Berry, Lawrence, Jasper, and Newton counties out there. So do keep this in mind, especially if you're traveling on US 60 or I-44, and of course into Kansas. If you're on 69, 126, 160, you need to slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. I know we keep preaching on it, but honestly, you've got to do that because, as we've mentioned before as well, it is better to be a few minutes late than not arrive at all. Once that fog burns off, we are going to have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, northeast winds gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. And then later this evening into the overnight, clouds increase out there and off in our northwestern counties, the same zones as before. Yates Center, Fredonia, Chanute, Burlington, Howard, Sedan could get a few isolated showers or storms overnight into early tomorrow morning. And then again, maybe a stray sprinkle or two outside of that. Most of us will start our Friday drive, but by about mid to late morning, there's a boundary approaching. Now, as we talked about, the storms and showers themselves will be lifting from south to north, but the boundary is going to be gradually getting pushed to the east. So we're eventually going to see it march its way across the area and bring more showers and storms out there. Now, the great news is no severe weather is expected, but these oranges and reds, we could get some heavy rain out of some of this. So especially in areas that did see almost a foot of rain through the weekend into Monday, just watch out for those flash flooding concerns. Ground is saturated. Just be cautious out there as we go into our Friday. So here at noon, most of southeast Kansas, Yates Center, Chanute, Parsons, Fredonia, Coffeyville, all dealing with showers and storms. Then by about 3, we get a line of these storms. That's the boundary itself. You can see the wind arrow shift line here. And that's going to be now from Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Anderson, Bentonville, rolling into Lamar, Nevada, Monette, Cassville shortly thereafter. Now, once we get this first line of storms through, we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms back behind this, and those will continue until we get a slightly more organized batch, say after 8 o'clock tomorrow. And again, it will start in southeast Kansas. So back to Yates Center, Chanute, Parsons, Coffeyville, Fredonia. Another round of showers and storms, and then we'll continue with scattered storms overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. And then by about noon Saturday, that boundary, you can see that wind shift line now just over Stockton by noon on Saturday, and skies clearing back behind it, and a southwest wind bringing in warmer weather. Quick look at temperatures. It is cloudy. You can see some fog off in the distance there from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. 45, northeast breeze at 9, making it feel like 40. And as is customary, we've got low 40s up north, mid 40s in the middle, and upper 40s all the way up to 51 down to the south in Bentonville. So again, patchy fog through about 9 o'clock this morning, mid 40s to start, mid 50s by 11 o'clock. Highs today, most of us right about 61, some a little warmer, some only into the upper 50s, but still relatively close to normal. Mid 60s Friday, Saturday. We'll clear out second half of Saturday. We're going to go a little above normal as we work into the next work week with another cold front Wednesday, bringing more showers and thunderstorms and cooler weather for next Thursday. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, a new app is being developed that can tell you anything you want to know about someone just by looking at them.
Yeah, as if tech wasn't.
As artificial intelligence learns and grows.
Okay.
Yes. Well, see, technology already trying to take over. Well, the app isn't quite ready to be released to the public yet, as it tests the limits of artificial intelligence.
As artificial intelligence learns and grows, so do the applications. One trio of entrepreneurs in South Bend say they hope to use the cameras in Meta glasses and the brain of facial recognition to tell you all about someone just by looking at them.
So we all have a digital footprint, right? How good would it be if eventually, there aren't secrets? Knowing who I'm talking to, knowing who I am about to go and meet.
The technology uses ChatGPT and MetaGlass technology to access the public archive of information and tell you what you want to know.
I'd like you to tell me, who am I looking at right now?
You're looking at Kyland Hall.
Could you please tell me how you knew who I was looking at?
I used facial recognition through the camera in your Meta glasses to identify Kyland Hall.
But it doesn't stop at fun facts and names. When I tried them on a stranger, I was able to look at his phone and ask the app to change his passcode. And before that, the glasses were used to scan my phone and find my mother's number and call me from it.
No.
Oh, dude, that's... Hello?
I mean, it all comes down to a moral boundary. You know, what's right, what's wrong, what do we want people to have access to, what do the people need to have access to? Do people need to go into your phone contacts? No, they don't need that at all. However, we need that in order to make this work.
Peterson and his team say that they want the public to see the technology as it grows so that the laws and regulations can keep up with it.
People might be kind of scared of where they're like, wow, all of my information is just gonna be like known to everyone, you know, and like whoever walks up to me, they can just know like all my darkest secrets essentially, you know. But I think with time, once we get used to it, the benefits of this app will actually outweigh the negatives.
Part of why the app was able to call from my mother's phone number is because of Bluetooth capabilities. Turning off Bluetooth is one way to restrict access.
Obviously, we're not releasing it right away. Like, we're doing it in small iterations. We're going to rabbit hash first, and we're a population of 200, and it's kind of like our guinea pig thing, you know? It's like, we're gonna see how that works out, and if that works, then we'll go to a bigger city, and if that works out, we'll go to a bigger city.
Can't say that
No.
I'm quite on board with all of that.
Absolutely not.
I think we need to,
This is where
watch out for
technology is
AI.
going too far here.
Yes,
Okay, that's.
I agree.
mean, maybe for police, perhaps,
Sure,
but
even
the
then,
general
some
public.
restrictions.
No,
No.
we don't need that
No,
kind
thank
of
you.
tech in our hands or on our faces. Well, maybe it'll tell you if it's foggy ahead before you get there, because it is foggy, and that's what we're here for. Take a look at Skywatch Fog Tracker. We've got some dense fog, Barry, Lawrence, Jasper, Newton counties out there, and then back into Cherokee, Crawford, Barton counties. So do slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. Again, partly to mostly cloudy skies, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies today. Northeast winds gusting 20 to 25. Overnight tonight, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in our northwestern counties, a couple of sprinkles outside of that, and then by late to mid to late morning, we'll start to get showers and thunderstorms across southeast Kansas, gradually spreading eastward through the day Friday, and then these will continue as we go Friday evening, overnight, and into the first half of our Saturday. But the good news is no severe weather expected. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Planned Parenthood says it plans to sue the state of Missouri after voters passed Amendment 3 Tuesday night, which provides a state constitutional right to reproductive freedom. Planned Parenthood's lawsuit claims the restrictions around abortion that still exist, including requirements put upon healthcare providers of abortions, are unconstitutional. Amendment 3 goes into effect in early December. The Carthage City Council has another vacancy to fill after voters recalled council member Tiffany Cosi Tuesday. Some community members say they hope this brings some peace to the community. Carthage City Council members say they will move forward to fill her position along with the other vacant seats in the City Council. And if you need to get a new driver's license in Missouri, you'll have to wait until next week. A new driver's license system is being rolled out across the state. A few license offices will be open today for motor vehicle services only, but expect all offices to be closed Friday and Monday. The new system should be up and running by Tuesday.
And we've got that patchy fog this morning. However, skies will clear out at least of the fog. Mostly clear, partly cloudy today. Most of us about 61, some a little warmer, some a little cooler. And we'll have those northeast winds gusting 20, 25 miles an hour. Breezy conditions continue through the evening and overnight, and clouds increase. Mostly cloudy tonight, right back into the 40s again. Could have a few stray showers or rumbles of thunder in the morning. Then by mid to late morning tomorrow, we start to see showers and thunderstorms more widespread. They'll continue into tomorrow night and early Saturday before they'll eventually clear out, leaving us with a pretty decent weekend out there, at least for the rest of Saturday and Sunday. And again, the good news is no severe weather.
Great news, yes. Well, Harley, a beloved macaw at the Cincinnati Zoo, helped staff organize a drawer. In footage posted by the zoo, Harley can be seen plucking lids from a drawer with his beak and dropping them on the floor.
Thanks for your help, the zoo wrote. Harley has a special bond with keepers at the zoo. Taught him to fly in 2022. I'm kind of curious how the keepers taught him to fly.
Yes.
Maybe they dressed as giant macaws and were flying around the room.
Wouldn't that be something?
That's certainly interesting. Well, thank you all so much, though, for letting us put the good into your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.